بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي.
Assalamu alaikum, Pops.
Alaikum assalam.
How are you, Papa?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Good to see you.
And you,
Hey.
son? Alhamdulillah.
Good reaction last week.
Mashallah.
So we're back, Jack.
Mashallah, mashallah.
2 weeks in a row, guys. If you like it,
Very good.
keep the comments coming and we'll keep it rolling, Papa?
It need to be more than 200.
Okay, Dad. No, you got the numbers, guys. Come on, crank it up. Go on, Dad. Anything you want to say today before I get going? Because I'm going to get going today.
No, you just started this all over again, and you come up with the topic, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Thing is, with these podcasts, guys, as you know, we don't have it scripted. We don't have it planned. We don't have any plan.
No.
I drive over to my dad's house, and on the drive over, I think, I want to get this off my chest today.
Yeah.
Now, there's quite a lot that's been going on in my life recently, but something I really want to get off my chest, Dad, is... Now, how do I put this? Because I don't want to upset anybody.
No,
this is the big thing. We don't want to upset people, do we? We're not the kind of guys, Dad.
No. Right.
We don't upset anybody. No. But, okay. One big reason why men don't come out and... careful. Don't come out and talk about their feelings and what they're going through.
Yeah.
Is, I think, because of the possibility of being ridiculed by other people, especially other men.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because when you're a man, right, it's a known thing. You got to be tough. From a young age, even my young kids now, my young boys, I'm guilty of it, saying, don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't be a girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's not right, but yeah.
No, not don't be a girl. Nowadays, and age, you want to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm saying... You know, don't cry like a baby, don't cry like a girl, or girls cry, or that kind of rubbish. I've been guilty of saying that by mistake.
Baby's fine.
Yeah.
Girl, no.
Okay,
So
fine.
yeah.
So men, I feel like, don't really talk about what they're going through much. Now, I'm personally been recently, because as you know, Dad, and as your viewers know as well, I'm not shy about talking about my feelings, and I'm proud of that. And I would say that's down to my mother, the way she was.
Yeah.
She made me comfortable speaking about my feelings, and she was that kind of person. She was a very, very nurturing person, and you as well. That, you know, credit goes to you as well, Pops. I mean, you maybe not at first when I was younger, but now you're okay.
Yeah, not so much now either. So, yeah, go on, carry on.
Shut up, Alice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, you can call me many things, Dad. People can call me many names, but one thing
just Harris will do.
No, but they can. People call me many different things, but people can't call me as fake.
Yeah.
I'm very real.
No, genuine, yes.
I'm very real, very genuine. There isn't a fake bone in my body. So recently, I've been talking a lot about how I am struggling to adjust, even after I've been back home now in the UK for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Still struggling to adjust to this way of life, because at a very young age, I moved from the UK. People don't realize this, right? I lived with you, Dad.
Yeah.
From being born to being obviously being born to the moment I left to go move to Dubai. That's when I left. The day I left your house is the day that I moved into my apartment in Dubai. People don't realize that. Yeah. I had no other time.
Living on your own was the experience.
In a different country, Dad. It's not. This is no little thing. Yeah. I didn't move around the corner.
No. Yes, true.
I moved to Dubai and lived on my own in Dubai, and my wife wasn't there. She was flying all over the bloody world. So I had a really big. Reality check when I did that. Now
it's called Aate Dal Ka Bhav Pata Lag Gaya.
What does that mean?
How much the things cost, the lentils and the meat and the onions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because when you live in here, you had no bloody idea, did you?
No.
Where the food comes from.
No.
But when you went there first time, and anybody who goes out in the big world on their own, that's when they found out. And when I was... Sorry to cut you off on your story, but I mean, I was even older than you when I left my house. Right?
Yeah,
I was 25, 26, something like that.
I was 22, 23.
And honestly, Harris, it was a shock because back home, I have sisters, my mother, and my grandmother. They all mollycoddled me. That's what the word I think is. I wasn't allowed to go in the kitchen, right?
Even now you get treated like that from it.
Well, yeah, my sisters, when they come here, I mean, they don't...
Treat like a king?
Yeah. So, mashallah, alhamdulillah. But all I could do at that time, because I liked certain things, I could make egg.
Yeah.
Right?
Still can nowadays that you
Yeah.
bang an egg.
When my for some reason my mother, my sister, my grandma, none of them were at home. Maybe gone to a wedding or something or whatever. I could make an egg, or I could make a cup of tea. That's all I could do. And I had no idea how things cost. So when I came here, again I lived with my brother for a few years.
Yeah.
So obviously nothing. Not until I got married, I found out that you got to go the electric bill, you got to go pay the gas bill, you got to pay the road tax, you got to pay. So all these things I learned
Yeah.
after I got married. So yeah, some people get this experience, fortunately, unfortunately, from a very, very young age. The people who had to go out on a very young age, 10, 12, to go out and earn the crust.
Yeah.
You know, but we were lucky in that respect that we didn't have to do that. So carry on what you're going on with the...
So yeah, I'm very fortunate that even though what you're saying there, things I had to learn, but it didn't faze me that much. That part didn't faze me, thank God.
Yeah.
And I always managed to adjust to paying bills and all that kind of stuff. What I've got an issue with, and what I want to talk about today, just initially now, is I complain a lot and I open up a lot now that I'm back from living over there. I complain a lot about I can't adjust, and I want to go back and live that life. And
it's a huge difference, and it's not
exactly,
a small thing. It's
exactly,
a big thing.
Exactly.
From a place living in Dubai and living in UK is a huge difference.
Yeah.
The lifestyle over there,
Yeah.
and especially the lifestyle you lived over there, alhamdulillah, because Allah Almighty gave you ability to live the high life over there.
Yeah.
And then coming back here, it's not the same, and the adjusting is very, very difficult.
But when I open up and speak about this, and this is another thing I want to talk about later on as well, about being in different rooms. You be in a room with certain people, they won't understand. If another room with, if you walk into a room with successful people who've got money and lifestyle, they understand what you're talking about. You go into a room where people are working 9 to 5 jobs and are chasing, like last podcast you said about chasing the next paycheck and stuff. They won't understand the same conversations you have. Yeah. So these kind of people I'm referring to, and I don't want to upset anybody, like I'm saying, but the people who live a 9 to 5 lifestyle and they chasing the next paycheck, or they're living a basic bog standard life. I get messages from these kind of people quite often. Yeah. Very hateful, very hurtful messages from people saying, get a grip, get your head out your ass, live, crack on like the rest of us, get a job. Yeah. Really hurtful stuff they say. Yeah. And it's because they don't understand where my head is at. Yeah. Now, that's why I want to talk on the podcast today, just in case those people are watching, or anybody else that maybe hasn't said that to me but might be thinking that, this guy, this fat idiot, he needs to shut up about Dubai now, living in the past. Chill out, lad. This is what people say. I know you don't like it. Okay. At the end of the day, I just wanted to address it. Mm-hmm. No matter what I say on this podcast today is going to make people understand fully where my head is at, right? But even you might not know where my head is at the moment, to be honest. Okay. So I thought I'd just talk about it. So, from going from the absolute top of my industry to crashing back down to the ground again multiple times, it takes its toll on your mental health, right? It does. Now, you imagine I've covered some of the biggest events in the world, where people pay thousands and thousands of pounds to be there, and I'm being paid thousands and thousands of pounds just to go and so I'm not paying a penny to go there. I'm being paid to go there. Do you understand? I don't know how to word it any better than that. That I'm people. For example, let's take the Qatar World Cup, for example. People I know who've got loads of money even couldn't get it because they were also flights and tickets and everything was you couldn't get it. And I'm there. I'm being paid to be there, and that is the most incredible feeling, the biggest buzz you can imagine. I can't explain it any other way. And I've realised that once you've experienced those things, and once you've lived that life, nothing else will come close. And I've tried to get over that, and to replace it with other things. And I've done my best to adjust to this life here in the UK. Yeah. I've really, honestly, I've said to myself, looked at myself in the mirror loads of times and said, "Listen, Harris, give it up now. Forget about it. Crack on. Just that's gone now. That's in the past." But something in me is telling me that you're not done with that. and you've still got so much. I know I've still got so much potential, and I've got so much more to give, and I've got so much more I can do. But it's just the time at the moment. It's not working out, and that's why I keep going on about it, because it's like I don't know. That's why I get a lot of hate from people who don't understand, because like
It's very difficult because people don't know the full thing. Because obviously, I know everything you got up to over there, and also when you reach to certain level and you worked in certain circles and stuff like that, you hope for further improvement in that rather than things being just completely shut down and coming down. I mean, two of the biggest example which people maybe don't understand that. I mean, to go through that and still be working and doing things, I wouldn't have done that, to be honest with you. To lose the scratchers contract one in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and after doing all the work and putting all the work into it, hard work, and at the last minute they're changing your mind and going to some company in America, and then also on negotiating with the Netflix for your series, and going so far. And then just because on the dotted line you were going to sign that, but they didn't want you to give them enough credit, what you were looking for. The deal fell off because of that. These are big, huge things which could have happened and would have changed the whole scenario for yourself and opened a lot of doors for you. These two things didn't happen. There are a lot more things like that as well. But I mean, I understand that. I know. But a lot of people don't understand because they are not fully aware of how far did he have. I mean, especially this Netflix one, it was just, you had to sign on the dotted line. And that's where it didn't happen. So all the hard work you put in for both of these projects and many other projects, people are aware of things you have done, but they're not aware of the things which were in your grasp.
It didn't happen,
But they didn't happen. But then again, it comes to the Allah Almighty. What is going to come to you is going to come to you. What isn't. So if you look at it from that angle, I know it is very hard. It's very difficult to accept so many things and stuff like that, and also losing so many projects for not your own fault, but some other reasons and stuff like that, for other elements and stuff like that. It's very hard, very tough. But you're a very strong and very, very, very determined and committed person, son. So
it is difficult though. I am, and I know something's going to happen eventually. I know it is.
Inshallah.
But it's at the moment, and I want to speak about this because there could be other people in the same position as me right now, or in the future could be some people in the same position as me right now. I'm in a place right now where I want something, but I can't attain it. But I know that it's going to come, right? And when you're in this position, usually people want to say stuff to you to put you down further. Everyone I've been speaking to has been saying, it's not happening, bro. Give it up. It's not happening. Get over it. Give it up. Get your head out your ass. All this kind of stuff. And those people will keep saying that until you do it. Then they'll be like, oh, bro, I was believed in you. I always knew you'd do it. All this bullshit, right?
There's always negative people in the world. And also, when you started talking about opening up, this is my issue. I don't open up to everybody. Right? I know that you tell somebody something and they're going to be very sympathetic with you. They're going to understand where you're coming from. They might even come up with some kind of advice for you as well. But then there are others who are going to maybe listen to you, but behind your back, they're going to make fun of you. Exactly for those things. So different rooms and different people. So with your podcast, I mean, I realize now that the number of things I've done and said on that I shouldn't have said. But this is the place where I have ended up saying things.
That's fine.
But for years and years and years, I do not go to people. I know, because that's another thing. I have the ability, alhamdulillah, that I can assess a person. So I know who to say something and who not to say something to. So you have to be very careful. Yes, it's fine to open up and you have to get all your frustration out and stuff like that. But you have to choose the people properly. You can't just open up to everybody, because 70 to 80%, maybe even higher number, are not going to be
happy for you.
They're going to be negative. They're going to say something stupid. Only 10 to 15% people in your life who are going to be genuine and is going to be, the people who will understand where you're coming from. So that's another issue, that how much do you open up to, and what type of people do you open up to?
Yeah.
So you have to be, I suppose, be very mindful of that as well.
But it's difficult because, like I said, because I'm so
Yeah.
because I'm so real and honest and genuine myself.
Yeah.
I expect other people to be like that with me as well. But that's what I've learned from a young age.
But then on the other hand, then what they call it, develop a thick skin. So don't worry about it. The
Yeah,
negativities, people are going to always say, Haris, even if you do the best thing, there are going to be somebody out there who's in a negative frame of mind for some strange reason, because something wrong is going on in his life or in her life. They're not going to like what you're saying, and they're going to come up with a negative. God forbid, astaghfirullah, when Kemi was born, there were some absolutely stupid idiots out there
Yes.
who made some very, very bad remarks and stuff like that. So
So weird, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
video of a newborn baby,
Yeah.
you say something like that. It's mental,
yeah,
isn't it?
I know. So that's what I'm saying is, I won't even, because you don't know what the hell is going on in their life. They might be having a very miserable life. So they are so disturbed in their mind that they don't want to see anybody else happy. So they will come up with something stupid and negative. So God help them and give them guidance. That's all you can do.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically.
So that's what the main topic was.
No, that was not the main topic. That's what on the way here I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
What I'm going through at the moment. And the thing is that what I've been struggling with is, it's like, for the first time in my life, I haven't got a purpose. I haven't got a vision for the future. I don't understand who I am. I don't understand where I'm going. I don't understand, like, this can't be it. Do you know what I mean? I look around, and I left the UK when I was 22, 23 years old, and I went to Dubai, and I lived this life. I keep going on about it. I know it sounds stupid, but it's not only about the luxuries of life. I'm on about just in general the quality of life that I lived was so much better. Sometimes I say to Holly, I wish I never experienced it, because if I just stayed in the UK at 22, 23 and lived the rest of my life, I'd be like everybody else who's commenting and telling me now to get over it. But
then again,
because
Haris,
I experienced those things, Dad.
you have made some decision in your life, then you stick into that. So that's your choice. People understand that I have been on your back for so many years saying to you, get a job, but you told me clearly that I am not a 9-to-5 person.
Yeah,
I will never be.
yeah,
So that's fine. That's your choice. That's your decision. So there are out there people who might be saying to you, get a job, but that's not what you are. You don't want to do that. You've never done that in your life, and you will never do that. So that's your decision. Fine. Once you make a decision and you think that I'm going to stick to that, fine. People have plan B, plan C, plan D. You don't believe in that. So, I mean, that's fine. I mean, obviously, things can't be always same exactly. A lot of people go through different phases and stuff like that in life. Some people don't. Some people have a very good life from the day they're born to the day they die. They have no issues. I don't know how. I never met one person like that in my life, but maybe there are people out there. But as I said again, I mean, nobody can predict, nobody can tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Something might be around the corner, and you're not aware of that. And if it is, brilliant. If it isn't, it might take a little bit longer than you think, but things will happen, inshallah, son. You live with hope and trust in Allah Almighty, and that's all you can do. This is the Punjabi thing I keep saying to you, and I say to you again and again and again, that there is a poetry by a saint that Mali da kam pani dena te par mashkan pave, Malag da kam phal phul lana, lave ya na lave. So the gardener's job is to give the water and to the plants. It's up to Allah Mia whether that plant is going to grow into flowers or not. Well, that's a rough translation of what I just said in Punjabi. So yeah, I mean, your job is to work hard and do your best you can do, but you can't predict, or you can't say what the result is going to be. That's up to in the hands of Allah Almighty. And if you have that belief and that trust,
So, other than mum passing away,
yeah.
what's the lowest point in your life that you've experienced, and how did you get past that and to where you are now?
Right, okay.
Would you say when you lost the shop? Is that the lowest point?
No,
or
no,
not?
no, no, no. There's so many. There is so
So
many.
give me one that where you had to really dig deep to get through it, because I need that, Dad, and other people might need that.
Harris, when my shop was burned down,
Yeah. My dad had a newsagent's, by the way, when I was a baby, and it got burnt down, and then yeah.
shop burned down, insurance company didn't pay, they wriggled out because what happened was that couple of months before, somebody tried to break through the back door.
Yeah.
So they only got to the back one door, and there was another door.
Yeah.
They couldn't get through that one. And I called the police for some reason. I shouldn't have done that. I called the police, and at the same time, I didn't go to my insurance company because I said, somebody told me that if you go to your insurance company, they will up your insurance.
Yeah.
It's only going to cost you about 80 quid or 90 quid to get a new door. So I got a new door, but then I reported to the police. So the police had a
Record.
police number or whatever it's called. So when I went to insurance company, they wriggled out from paying anything to me.
Because of the new door.
Yeah, it's called a non-disclosure
Okay.
because I did not disclose the breaking of that door through the insurance company. So I lost the shop. I lost the business.
Which the business nowadays would be about £500,000, you said, right?
It would be, if nothing else, 250,000 to 300,000 pound
Okay.
worth. But the thing is,
But it was the shop and the property
the shop
upstairs.
and the property upstairs. So I was running a shop downstairs. I had a tenants upstairs. I was getting around about, in those days, I was getting about £1,000 a month for rent from upstairs. But the problem is that before that, I had spent £38,000 to make that flat into a beautiful flat
Upstairs, yeah.
upstairs. New kitchen, new bathroom, everything.
Yeah.
And then after doing all that beautiful, 6 months down the line, your mother said, no, I'm not staying here because kids, there's no park, no garden, whatever. And it's on the main road. And when the kids' bedroom is, the traffic and all that, the fumes are affecting them and all that. So I'm not. So then I had to buy a house. And that beautifully, designed flat I had to then rent, and then it was trashed by people. Every single tenant who came trashed it. But that's just the side point. I was so down and depressed because not only that I lost that, the shop is burned, my running business has gone down, insurance company wriggled out of it, and then one of my suppliers, which I owed him about £3,000, they took me to court, and the judge wanted me to pay, but I only had a few £100, after paying to the bank, because I used to deposit to the bank and stuff. So in my house, I had about £500-600 left, cash. And they wanted me to pay that within that week, the judge. And he said, if you can't pay it, he bankrupted me. So I became bankrupt as well. Within next 2 weeks, they came to my house. I had 2 cars parked outside. They took both the cars. And the worst thing, all of that is a big loss. 6-7 months before this happened, my accountant suggested to me that for tax reasons and stuff, if I make my wife a partner in the business, sleeping partner. Let me see who that phone is. Just a minute.
It's going to be one of his sisters. They call him like 20 times a day. Who is it? Who is it?
I have no idea. There's no name. So,
So
I did that, and after all of that, they then took all the money from my bank, and they went into my wife's bank. And 2 days later, my wife went to the bank, and the bank said, you have no money left, because so that was a big, and she obviously came home and she was very upset because he had nothing to do with anything. So that is the point where weeks later, had no money
Yeah.
whatsoever to put the food on the table, pay the bills or anything. Luckily, once again, my brother came to the rescue. He gave me some money. And what I did with that money was I just bought some tickets and we flew to Pakistan. And I stayed there for 6 to 8 weeks. And then when I came back, I had no choice but to become a taxi driver because I couldn't do anything else. So somebody I knew, I was speaking to the person and I said, what can I do? He said, listen, I know somebody at taxi rank in Mole.
Yeah.
If you go down there, they will give you the car as well and everything. And you can just pay them back monthly. So that's what I did. I started taxi driving. So that was the point where I had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And then I had to, even when I was, okay, so I lost all that. But at that time, the brain wasn't working properly, son. There were so many things going on that I just walked away from the property. I came back from Pakistan, and a few weeks later, somebody knocked on the door and said, what are you doing with that shop? I said, nothing. I said, can I have the shop? I said, yeah. That's what I said, on the doorstep, and that's it. That guy went to the bank because Barclays Bank I borrowed the money from in those days I invested 30,000, 40,000 pounds and I borrowed another 60,000 from the bank. So he went to the Barclays Bank because by the time, which was 4 or 5 years I've been running the shop, so I had paid most of the money off.
Yeah.
So the worst I owed at that time to the bank was about 18 to 20,000 pounds. So this guy paid the bank that 18,000 or 20,000, whatever that, and I took the property. And then, that guy, obviously, his family is running this business here called Ideal Carpet.
Yeah.
And one of their brothers or cousin or whoever it was, who I gave the shop to for free. So I gave my shop and, property with the house upstairs. He then, a few months later, I've just recently found out, somebody contacted me and said, oh, did you have this free property from somebody? He said, oh, yes. Said, but it wasn't free because I had to pay the bank so much money. But he then sold it a few months later. He sold it for 50,000, 60,000 pounds to somebody else. So he made, within a few months, he made another, money profit out of that. So that's what so I had to start from scratch. But not only that, just when I got back on my feet again, doing taxi driving, bringing some money home and paying the bills and all that carry on, suddenly the receivership people started writing to me that because I still owe some debt, they are going to take my house and sell it and stuff. And, so then I had to rebuy the house from them.
Really?
Yeah. So, so it just went on for 6, 7, 8 months. This whole issue went on and on and on and on. And then finally, luckily, I was able to agree a certain amount of money with them. And then I had to pay them installments because I couldn't pay them in one go. So it turns out I only owed them about another £10,000. So, but I made an installment with that. So in total, in those days, it was just because something I never thought I would be doing. When I first arrived, I had this issue now, I'm coming to that now. As a student and lived with my brother, there were a couple of shops next door, and one of them was they had this guy had a video shop.
Yeah.
And at the back of the shop, he had a taxi rank. I think it was called In Time Taxis or something. And this guy was quite, thought he's a fashionable guy.
Yeah.
But obviously, alhamdulillah, I was very fashionable from my childhood anyway. So there was a bit of a thingy going on with him.
Competition.
Right? I wasn't thinking as a competition. He
Yeah.
must have been in his mind. And I was a student and stuff like that. But when one day he saw me after 5, 6, 7 years later, taxi driving, and the comments he made, and the way he looked at me, Harris, I can't explain that feeling. He was right, I was going. He, I think, never went to college or whatever, just went to school and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously he had money because of the businesses he was running. One of his uncle owned the pub called Gaiety Pub.
Okay. Famous pub that
Yeah.
from
And,
the Jack the Ripper stories.
something like that, yeah. So he obviously influenced, his family had money, maybe not education or whatever, but they did have money because of these businesses and stuff. So that's why he thought himself some kind of big gun or some whatever. And to have that kind of person make a slight comment to you and look at you the way he did, it was really bad, really bad. But my two things Allah Almighty have given me, alhamdulillah, which I'm very happy with. One, I always look at the both sides of the picture, not just one side, always. Anything goes wrong, I look at what are the positives, right? The second thing is, yes, at that momentarily, that what he did and said was bad. But I'd never, ever, ever take that kind of thing with me. It was done and dusted there and then. 5 minutes later, half an hour later, I forgot about it. Now I remember it because I'm just had to mention that, what happened there. So to the ability to don't care what anybody thinks. Because anybody who thinks bad about me is not going to obviously influence me to do anything which I don't want to do. So let them think what their opinion is. I know who I am. I'm confident in myself. Always have been in my life. I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. These people cannot change me. People who say good things about me, I can learn from them even to get better. If somebody says, oh, you're good at that, I can try to improve even further. But somebody says bad things about me, I'm not going to go down their level, and it's not going to let me bother me. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. So these are the two things which, unfortunately, you don't have in that, so you are a lot more sensitive in those things that you think too much.
I'm an overthinker and I'm extremely I'm hypersensitive, that some might say, but
I'm not.
I know that.
Sometimes people make comments because I'm on now Facebook and I'm on X and I'm on Thread.
Yeah.
So I have discussions with a lot of people. A lot of people disagree with my opinion, but I have my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And I stick to that. So, Harris, it is very hard to develop these kind of qualities. It's not easy.
It's not so much about, I'm not really give that much of a rat's ass about people saying something to me.
Yeah, but it upsets you, that's the thing.
It deep down it upsets me.
Yeah.
But more so it makes me look in the mirror and say bad things to myself. And I think it's more dangerous.
Never.
I think it's more dangerous how you think of yourself than how it is how other people think of you. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say to my wife, unfortunately, she gets the brunt of this. I'm always telling her what I'm thinking. The poor woman who lives with me. I bet she's regretting marrying me because I don't shut up. I always tell her, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that, should do this, should do that. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? She's like, will you shut up and let me drink my coffee? Do you know what I mean? She didn't want to know.
I'm going to say something now.
Oh, jeez.
There are two things you got both wrong. You got it and your wife got it.
Okay, there we go.
You
go
got
on.
this.
Lay it on me,
No,
Dad.
you got to work on that, son.
Lay it on me, Dad.
You got it this, that you are a man. When you're working outside and all that carry on, you can come home and discuss things with your wife. This is fine.
Yeah.
But you can't bring every single outside issue to her,
Yeah.
one thing. Second thing for your wife.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed in that, and she need to work on that, and you need to work on your... That when you are a man working outside, because this is you have chosen, isn't it?
Yes,
Because
Dad.
you've chosen to work out
Yes.
and she's chosen to sit at home.
Yeah.
If you were both working, then situation would be different. I'll give you a different advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because she's chosen to be a housewife,
Yeah.
you've chosen to be a breadwinner of the house,
Yeah.
she should not, the minute you come home, start telling you what he did, what she did, what happened with the electric, what happened with the garden, what the dog did. No. Or ringing you while you are at work. You have been with me a number of times when you had you are on a phone call and she's telling you some issues and stuff like that, right? This is both bad for you.
I know.
Both bad for you.
You're probably right what you're saying, Dad. But the way our marriage is set out, right?
You know, it's time, Betty.
I know, but the way that our marriage has been set out, Dad, from the get-go, is that we tell each other everything.
Yeah.
And whatever I do, she's involved with. Whatever she does, I'm involved with. You know what I mean? Like so yeah. But I know what you're saying. It's probably the right way
I told you a
about
story
it.
before that. I told you a story about one of the Sahabis that in those days they used to go and work in different cities and towns or whatever. So he was away somewhere for a few months, and in the meantime, back home, his son died. In those days, there was no mobile phone, or there was no telegrams, there was no nothing. So when he came back, his wife welcomed him in the house, gave him hot food. He had a bath and shower and stuff like that, had the food, and he went to sleep, had a good rest. When he woke up, then she told him,
Your son's died.
the young son died.
You not think
Now,
he's
so many
gonna?
people-
Do you not think he's gonna flip the table and say,
So
"Why you
ma-
tell me
no,
this last
no.
night, you
So-
son of a? Why? He's
so
not gonna say,
many
"Oh,
people-
thanks for letting me have a, thanks for letting me
I know
sleep."
where you're coming from.
Dad,
Let me get
if I go home
let me
and
cover that.
I
Let
go
me-
sleep and then they wake up and she goes, "Oh, by the way, your son's dead," I go, "You son of a! How are you gonna tell me when I come through the door?"
Let me cover that. I know there's so many people are going to say exactly the same thing you said. But what I'm saying is that she could have given him the bad news the minute he walked in. The minute he walked in, she could have given him the bad news. But Haris, you don't know how hard that guy has been working. You don't know if he had any, she doesn't know if he had proper food to eat for so many days or not. And in those days, they used to travel either on the camelback or even walking or horseback or stuff. So she doesn't know how long it has taken to where he has been to come back,
Dad,
right?
Dad, listen,
He could have had a heart attack, Haris.
Papa, listen.
No, listen to me now. Let me finish and then you can do... If he would have given in the bad news the minute he walks in, he himself could have had a heart attack and fallen dead.
Not next morning after his prayer, and not next morning.
No, because he's properly fed, rested, and then... Because in those days, Haris, and even now, as a Muslim, you have to... Listen to me, let me finish first. When you believe in Allah Almighty and you have the full faith, you know the life and death is part of you. Anybody who's born is got to die, right? So people didn't take... Sometimes the way we take death and stuff like that nowadays... It's not taken like that in those days because they knew. You know, you have to be... Because Allah Mia gave you that. Like for Zara, for example, right?
Yeah.
When she passed away, Alhamdulillah, I was in the hospital with her. My mother and my sister-in-law came a little bit late. By the time they arrived, Zara had passed away, right? They both started crying in the hallway while they walk into the door. And honest to God, Allah Almighty gave me the strength and I went to them. I said, listen, don't cry so loudly here. Go into the room because there are other patients in this hospital, very critical. Your crying is not going to help them. Honest to God, I don't know many people could have done that. So even at that point, Haris, I was worried about other patients in the hospital. And I said to my mother and to my sister-in-law, because they were the way Asian
they were,
women cry, and it was very loud. And I got them in the room quickly, shut the door, and even in them told them, keep your voices down of crying. Same thing happened with my brother, because my brother, when I got to the hospital, he's passed away. But he was in the emergency department, where he was in the middle. There were curtains and there were other people which are being
Resuscitated.
revived and
Resuscitated.
and stuff like that, and then cry. And I got them all out of that room, because you can't, because you had a tragedy. Other people are still alive at the moment. So this kind of thinking I have. And so I understand what that woman has done. A lot of people are not going to. Because that's again, it's come to your understanding and the belief.
I mean, listen.
Now you go. Yes.
This targeted attack on my marriage.
No.
I'm just saying. I need to talk. And by the way, if you guys don't think this is real, this is a real life targeted attack I just had in my marriage. I've got to try and defend my marriage now. Otherwise, when I get home, I'm going to have my clothes all in the front garden. So, woman,
I said from both sides. I said to you as well. Okay. That don't take all.
Let me just explain that.
Yes.
Let me just explain that.
Okay.
Listen, I've got 99. There's a song by Jay-Z, right, called 99 Problems.
Yeah.
He's talking about he's got 99 problems in his life, but his missus, he calls it something else, but his wife is not one.
Yeah.
I always say that to my wife. Thank God.
She's a problem.
I know. I'm trying to explain some of that. I've got 99 problems in my life, okay? There's all problems. As soon as I leave the front door in the morning, I get anxious because I know that I've got problems, I've got things going on. God knows what's going to happen to me today. Yeah. Sometimes I say to my missus, I'm just about to get out of bed. I said, I don't want to start the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I go to my wife with daily things that you say, don't bring it home. Yeah. The reason I go to her is she's my peace. Yeah. When I go to her with something, even though it's trivial, even though she don't give a shit about it, even though it's something I should probably just keep to myself, by me opening up to her about it, she gives me the peace that I need. Yeah. She doesn't even know this. I've been saying that now because of the targeted attack you just launched on me, Dad.
Attack.
So I go to her and she's my peace, and I'm sure she feels the same way. Coming to me with her problems,
Obviously,
I can't. Exactly. Listen. Don't talk till I speak. She's that for me, and I feel like I must be that for her because when she comes to me, when I'm in the middle of Saudi Arabia filming a boxing match, and I get a message, Cammy's done this, Nora's done this, Rafe's done this. That's her just getting it out, venting to me, the only person she can vent to, because I'm her peace. Yeah. And I can't fix the problem. Yeah. I can't wipe an ass from Saudi Arabia. Yeah. I can't help her with a tantrum kid in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. But I can message her back, and she knows that she's got me there, and I'm her peace. Yeah. So this is where I think you might have got it, when you've witnessed this happening in real time. You know, I don't particularly like getting these messages saying your kids are being bad when I'm in another country working to make money and to provide. And she probably don't like me constantly saying to her, "Oh, I got this client," or "Oh, I got this problem," or "Oh, I got this problem." You know, but it's part of our marriage, and the way that my marriage is set up, Dad. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's working at the moment, Papa.
Alhamdulillah, bete. I'm not saying there's no working. I mean, to be honest with you, there are a lot of... now, okay, I get your point as well, because obviously, in my mind, I have a lot of positives from you and for your wife as well.
Thank you.
But maybe because I don't mention them, and I mentioned this one, that's why you're feeling like that. Yeah. But to be honest...
And the thing is, just also to reiterate, I've got an English wife. Yeah. She's white. Yeah. She's English. Mm. They don't do this kind of thing. Whereas foreigners... I won't say just Pakistani because it could be other people. Yeah, no, Asians, Arabs, foreigners say what they want. And usually if the wife's also from the same background, they just take it. Yeah. But why? As you know, marrying a white woman yourself, Dad, they don't stand for this shit.
I know. But
when I get home and my wife sees this footage now, she's going to have something to say to me. Yeah. And she's going to have something to say to you probably as well.
Haris, I had a very good relationship with your mother, but I can tell you one thing now. And now listen to very carefully, and your wife listen to this as well.
Yeah, go on. Another attack.
My relationship with my wife wasn't as friendly as yours is with your wife.
Yeah, I know that. I grew up in the same house. You know that, don't you?
That's what I'm saying. Although I had a very good relationship with my wife, But this is a positive now. God, bloody hell.
But are you forgetting I grew up in the same house?
I know, but your wife doesn't know that. So obviously, the friendship you have with your wife and the way you have the relationship with your wife.
I don't know where it's come from. I thank God I don't know. She's my best friend. I don't know where it's come from,
that's
Dad.
what I'm saying.
I'm very lucky. You know, I've got friends who constantly moan about their wives to me, and I'm thinking, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Maybe there is. I know what the reason is, but I'm not going to say that on here.
Oh,
There's a reason.
another attack you got.
No,
Are you launching something else,
It's
Dad?
not attack because it was like.
Go on.
Do you mean?
Go on, say what you got to say, Dad. If I need to cut it out, I'll cut it out.
No.
If you guys see a cut somewhere, my dad says something out of order. Go on, Dad.
No. I mean, I'm telling you, that's all I have to say on this topic is that I'm very pleased and happy that in one hand that you have a very good friendship as far as in your marriage, which is very good. The point I was trying to make is, and you take only too
No, I'm just joking. It's just banter. That's man. It's just banter. You're my pops. I'm not gonna say anything against you. I'm just joking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had that as issue as well, isn't it? Like when you were young and kids were young as well and stuff like that, and I come home from work, as especially when I worked for this council and did all sorts of jobs.
You've told me before in the past you'd come home from taxi driving, and mum would be waiting to say stuff to you, and you'd be laying there half dead.
Harris, the problem here is back home and in other places, and there are big families and stuff like that. That's different. In here, in your place, you and your wife. In here,
That's
me
it.
and my wife.
That's it, yeah.
So when I was working all night,
Yeah.
taxi driving and coming home in the morning,
Mum was waiting for you to come home to talk to you.
she had little kids to deal with.
Yeah.
Right? And she had no adult to talk to. And she wanted to get so much off her chest. And I am dying to go to bed.
Yeah.
Because I've been working from 6 o'clock last night till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
All night, Harris, I've been driving. And in a situation that, a point where I have a customers in my car and I'm stopped at the red light and I've gone off. I'm that tired. And then I come home and she wants to tell me what this. Not bad things.
I know
she
that.
wants to tell me the good things happening, and I'm saying, shut up, please. Shut up, let me go to sleep. So that kind of thing. And then one day I came home and I used to start getting migraines in those.
Yeah.
I started getting migraine and she's talking to me and all that carry on. And after she finished, I said, please, can I go to sleep? I got a really bad headache and stuff. She said, okay, don't worry. And she gave me a couple of tablets. I haven't eaten anything since 6 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And I was so tired, I didn't want to eat breakfast. I wanted to go to sleep and then wake up and eat something. And I have no idea what she gave me. When I lay down, I was like, I was on a boat. And honestly, I have no bloody gabapentin or God knows what.
You got gabapentin pops.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can never forget that. For the 3-4 hours, I was trying to go to sleep, and I was
High as a kite.
scared of drowning. Because I was on the sea, honestly, and the ship was going all over the bloody place. So yeah, she was that kind of person.
Gabapentin is good stuff, Dad.
No, but I don't even take paracetamol.
I know. She must have given you some strong stuff, man.
I know. She used to give me 2 paracetamol. I say I have a headache. She'll give me 2 paracetamol. I'll throw one in the bin and eat one. And then one day she found out about it, and she said, "No, I'm not giving you no bloody medicine. Go without."
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, back to my.
Okay, let me get back to that again. It wasn't negativity.
Yeah.
It was just saying that, yes, you have to talk to as a husband and wife to each other, but just try to be considerate that when you come home, she's been through so much all day with the children and stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't start with you. When the kids are going to sleep, you had your dinner, then you sit down, watch TV, and that's the time she could tell you her story and you can tell her your story.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what my suggestion is. Not the minute you come home, she's dying to tell you something, like Leslie used to do that, and you trying to tell her something. That's what I'm saying is sometimes becomes too much for both of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Back to the initial point I started the podcast with.
The initial point, okay.
Yeah, so the initial point I want to get back to, because I still don't feel like it's off my chest just yet.
Right,
okay.
What time is it now?
I don't know.
You got to be careful. Oh, it's all right.
I don't know what more I can say. I don't want to. There's some stuff. There's some stuff I don't want to say, but because it's still private, still things that I'm trying to sort out at the moment. But yeah, still don't feel like I belong here. I've been back in the UK now 6 years, I think. 6 or it might be 7 years. I don't know. I can't count anymore.
Another thing you got to put into there is that you have had number of offers in the last few months as well.
That's what I'm going to say now. Let me say it now.
The problem is that you can't go.
This is what I'm going to say.
Okay, go on.
So last year was, like I said, was the worst financial year of my life that I can remember as being. Yeah. Throughout this whole year, I was having job interviews.
Yeah.
I was applying for jobs. Yeah. All of them in the Middle East somewhere.
Yeah.
I had countless interviews.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, I'm rubbish at interviews, which might sound silly because I'm on a podcast right now and I used to vlog and I'm I'm decent at talking, what I need to talk about. But in job interviews where they're firing questions at you and you don't know what they're going to ask you and you got to answer them and you got to answer them in the right way and say the right things, I'm rubbish at it. I'm really rubbish at it. And my work is what I speak with. I speak with my work. And all the jobs I've had and all the crazy things I've done is all through my work, not through me talking. Talking hasn't got me these jobs. Talking didn't get me F1 or Qatar World Cup or Riyadh season or Cirque du Soleil or any of this stuff. Talking didn't get me it. It's my work that got me and my contacts and my networking, not even verbally networking, but networking with people's word of mouth from that person to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Aris, the problem is that the people who want to give you the job and nowadays the system is set up in a way that they believe on jargons.
Yeah.
The more jargon you know, the more BS you can do.
Yeah.
You can. There's 3 Bs. I can't remember what the 3 Bs were, but a long time ago somebody told me 3 Bs you have to do in your interview, and that's what you get the job. No matter how much experience you have, how much work you've done, but if you cannot hit those points, what they have in their mind and paper, they're going to give the job to the person who's going to tick those marks. But they can't do the bloody job at the end of the day.
The thing is, just to explain myself, right? Yeah. I've been self-employed my entire life, right? The moment I became self-employed was when I was about 15 or something. I think about 15 years old. I was working in a
Yeah.
What?
3 Bs.
You got them?
Yeah. It was bullshit baffles the brain.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
That's what, I mean, you know, like for example, when
I got a title for the podcast now. Bullshit Baffles the Brain. That's this podcast title.
Yeah, somebody told me 3 Bs that you have to go in there and you got to just come up with all this and another. Like, like in an interview they say, thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
That was all. Oh, that bird is flown now. Yeah, I mean, you're having a meeting in a council where you're talking about certain projects and things like that, and you're coming up with these, thinking out of the box. The bird has flown now.
Bird has blown?
Yeah, flown now. And we are where we are. Okay, where are we now? I mean, I felt so many times saying in a meeting, when somebody turned and said, oh, we are where we are. I said, okay, so where we are then? These kind of things. And you just go far if you say that.
I'm rubbish at that. I'm rubbish at the jargon. But I'll tell you what else I'm rubbish at. Small talk.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to apologise to anybody that sees me out in public.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might come across rude. Even yesterday, someone stopped me and started talking to me, right? Yeah. I'm really bad at small talk. And I don't want it to come across like I'm rude. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah. Someone wants to chat to me and I'd say, yeah, how good to see you, bro. See you later. And I walk off. They want to have a full conversation. I don't know how to small talk. Anyway, back to my point, Dad. All right.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you for your little interjection. I appreciate it, but I keep forgetting my point.
No, your point.
My point is, I was self-employed from the moment I was 15, 16 years old. I was working in a call center, and the guy. It was a small call. It was a private call center. I worked in Direct Line and a few others big ones, but I worked in this was a private call center, and the call center it was a long time ago now. But basically, I was selling on the phones to companies this. Sticker that goes on the back of plugs.
Right.
So we send guys out to check your electricity in your business and put a sticker on the back of your plugs and then your whatever. Right. Dead company, but the guy who owned the company.
Yeah, he used to drive different cars.
Every day he'd pull up in different cars. One day R8, one day Ferrari, next day Lambo, next day Range Rover. I'm like, this guy is he serious? He's paying me like 3-4 quid an hour or something stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm sitting here.
That's why you're making that much money, because you only give me 3-4 quid. If
exactly, but when I saw this guy pulling up outside every day in a different car, right, I thought, forget this. And that's the day I became self-employed. Yeah. And then I went out and like, Dad, from a young age, look, people don't realize the story, right? When I was 17, I think it was. I begged you every day to let me go to a nightclub, and you said no.
Yeah.
I had a white friend called Darren, and every day he'd say to me, "You're coming out tonight, heaven and hell, heaven and hell." And God Almighty, when I told you I want to go to heaven and hell, you were like, "Astaghfirullah, you know what you're talking about." There's a nightclub in Leeds, famous nightclub in Leeds called Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
They had upstairs, which was heaven.
Yeah.
It was all like light kind of bassline music. They had a middle, which was like it was called Purgatory.
Yeah.
That was like a chill out area, and the hell was like the heavy stuff, right? That's what it was called, Heaven and Hell. Pretty sick nightclub, pretty sick idea, to be fair. But you didn't want me to go. And for months and months and months, every Friday he'd ask me, "Do you want to come? Do you want to come? Do you want to come?" Because he had like older brothers who took him out with him. I think he was underage, should be in a nightclub, and I shouldn't be in a nightclub. I'm underage as well. But one day, for some reason, I guess you were sick of me asking you. You said, "Okay, but I take you way outside and I bring you home." I said, "Okay." I just wanted a taste of the experience, right? I've totally said the podcast before, so I'm not going to go through the full thing.
Yeah.
But I'd waited outside for me at 1 o'clock in the morning or something. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a nightclub with my friends, just scoping the place out. Like girls dressed half naked, guys, girls dancing, booze, this, that. First experience. Went to the bathroom. Guy gives me I give the guy a quid who was in the bathroom. He sprays me with perfume and gives me a lollipop. I'm like, "What's going on here, man?" So I'm walking about. I'm seeing all these girls. First time I've seen girls half naked in this environment. I'm like, my eyes popped out my head, Dad. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So anyway, I guess about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I think, my dad's outside and I better go. So you said don't take more than an hour or so.
Yeah.
You were in the car sleeping or whatever. I come out, you take me home. 1 year later,
Yeah.
I am the main guy filming all the biggest nightclubs in the UK. 1 year from that time, 1 year from my first time entering a nightclub,
Yeah.
and a year later, I'm the biggest thing since sliced bread when it comes to the nightlife in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm up and down the country every day. Every big nightclub you can think of, Liverpool, Manchester, London. Anywhere you can think of, anytime a celebrity came to the UK and was doing a performance or a club appearance, I was the guy that got called. There was this guy called Icky, I think Icky or Aki in Manchester, owned the biggest nightclub in Manchester. This guy used to come out. He hired me, and he was one of my biggest clients when I was first starting out. Asian guy from Manchester. He used to wear these designer jeans, and he had so much money in his pockets. His jeans pockets would be out here, and I thought, look at his pocket. His pockets was like money like this. In both pockets, and he'd walk around with all designer gear on, and he brought every celebrity you can imagine to his nightclub. It was called Boutique in Manchester. Anyway, then I went down to London, and I was filming. I was like 17, 18 years old. I'd filming 50 Cent, filming The Game, Rick Ross, filming Shakira, filming Neo, any big celebrity at the time that was music artist. I was filming them at 17, 18 years old. Dad, I did that for a few years, and that's when it all kind of snowballed, right?
Yeah.
This is when I say now I've lost my vision, I've lost my purpose, I've lost who I am, because then I was the go-to guy, and I was the go-to guy from such a young age, and it continued. I continued being the go-to guy for so many years, because even when I was in the UK, then I was getting flown out internationally to France, Germany, Morocco, Spain. I did the Marbella thing in 2012, which was the biggest. My content in 2012 in Marbella was the most viewed by anybody. And then I moved to Dubai. As people know the story of I moved to Dubai and everything. And then I was the go-to. I wasn't at first, obviously. Eventually, after I got the Formula One contract, then I was the go-to guy in Dubai for 5 years. I was the go-to guy, and I had the Russian mafia chasing my tail, because the Russian mafia invested their money in Dubai, and one of the departments they invest their money in is the videographers. So I was the one guy on my own filming everything, and they sent like a team of like 20 videographers with all the best cameras and everything, proper funded guys, right? Russian guys. Yeah. And they used to come up to me and say, "How much you charging? How are you getting these clients? We want to take." I'm not telling them how freaking charge, you nutter. And for some reason, somehow I kept them kept them away from me. I was still the go-to guy, Dad.
There, yeah.
And that's what I think I need to be in order to be happy, in order to feel fulfilled, in order to feel like I'm doing the right thing and I'm in the right place. I need to be the go-to guy again. Yeah. And right now, I'm not. Right now, everyone's looking at me like Harris is washed up. I'm not washed up. I'm just not where I need to be. Yeah. And I want to go now. The next step I want to do, I've made the decision. I want to go to Saudi Arabia. And I want to take Saudi Arabia and be the go-to guy in Saudi Arabia, just like I was the go-to guy in Dubai. Yeah. I want to do that again. That's my dream now, to do that. Okay, and that's, even I'm 35, 36 years old this year. I'm washed up. I've got 3 kids. I've got nothing going on for me. That's my goal for the future. And if I can make it happen, then happy days. And also the fact that I want my children to grow up in a Muslim country and to be in a good, healthy, secure, safe environment. Yeah. All this stuff, right? Now, the problem I've got is before I had children and I was the go-to guy in the UK and I was the go-to guy in Dubai and I was doing all these big things, I didn't have to worry about much. Sometimes, some months I'd make good money, some months I'd make dead money, whatever. But me and my wife, just me and her together, we'd get through it. Sometimes we've got less money, sometimes we've got loads, whatever. I can't do that when I've got kids. I've got 3 children. If I want to move to Saudi Arabia with 3 children and a wife, all 4 of them are relying on me to provide for them. I can't do that. I'm not a millionaire. I can't move to Saudi Arabia off like that and pay for everything and build a company. I can't do that again. And the stress, people who are self-employed will understand the stress of having to make sure the bills are all paid each month and make sure that money's coming in and make sure your clients, even big companies, I've spoken to big companies recently, even they're sometimes stressed about having to win more clients and get more proposals out and everything. Even big companies, it's very difficult, that, especially when you're a one-man show, trying to constantly keep clients coming in, money coming in. So anyway, I can't do that anymore. So now I'm looking for a job. For the first time in my life, I'm looking for a job. I've been self-employed for 18 years. It's coming up to now.
Yeah,
I always say 15 years.
In UK, you're looking for a job in the...
Yeah. Look, I can get a job in UK like that. Anywhere, no problem. I'm not on about that. I'm trying to get a job in my field at the top level in one of the biggest companies in the Middle East. I've had meetings this week. I haven't even told you this, Dad. I've been contacted by 4 of the biggest events companies in Saudi Arabia this week, just because I put my foot down a little bit. Because I'll be honest, after last year, I gave up. As you know, I gave up. I said to myself, you know what? I'm just gonna stay in the UK now. Just leave it. I've got a house. I've got a car. Just live life. Kids are in school. Just forget about it. But every morning I wake up and I struggle to get myself out of bed because I've got no drive. I've got no passion. I've got nothing happening. I need to be back in that environment where I'm buzzed and I'm excited for life and I'm excited to live and I'm excited for my work. Because for so many years I got out of bed, Dad, and I'd be excited to go to work. And everyone should have that, Dad. Everyone should have that feeling of, I'm excited to go to work today. I'm excited for what the day is going to bring. Not I'm miserable, I don't want to start the day. Do you know what I mean? So, sorry, Dad, I'm just getting this off my chest. I need to get this off my chest. So, yeah, so I've had a new CV made.
Yeah.
I paid some Pakistani guy. I don't know why I paid the Pakistani guy, but I paid some Pakistani guy he's a qualified guy.
Yeah,
I paid him money to make me a new CV because my CV was shit. I'm no good at doing CV. I'll be honest, I've got strengths and I've got weaknesses. My weaknesses are obviously theoretical. I said last week. I meant more so technical. Technical bullshit, jargon and CVs and all these kinds of I'm not good at that. But the creative stuff, I'm one of the best. So I paid a guy to make me a CV because my CV was shit. He made me a good CV, ATS compliant, whatever the frig that means, right? Sorted. He gave me that. I've been blasting it everywhere. I've been shoving it in everybody's faces. And as I've been blasting it out everywhere, I'm getting more interest now. So I've got a LinkedIn page, and on my LinkedIn page, I've been contacted by 4 of the biggest goddamn companies in Saudi Arabia, Dad. It's no joke that these people have contacted me.
Yeah.
I've had one interview with one of them,
Yeah.
and I don't know where that's going yet. Another one is yet to call me. He says he's going to call me, but he's Arabs, I don't know, they're slow or whatever. And a few others are there as well. And also, I did the boxing in Saudi Arabia last year, and I didn't get, at the time, I was too busy focusing on the client and make sure they were happy. I didn't network with anybody.
Stuff, yeah.
I was in Turkey's house. Turkey Al Sheikh. I was in his house. He was right in front of me. And all these people were there. Why didn't I get their details? Stupid idiot I am. But Amir Khan, I've got his contact details. He used to be a friend of mine a long time ago. Haven't really spoke to him, dealt with him in a long time. I sent him my CV. He's buddy with Turkey Al Sheikh, right? I said, bro, here's my CV. Pass it out, man. Sort it out, bro, please. Last night he messaged me back saying, sent. So he sent my CV to, I don't know whether it's Turkey's team, or some other team in Saudi Arabia. Amir Khan is in there because he was a very big thing in boxing.
Yeah.
Now he's chilling out doing what he wants to do. But he's still, because of his achievements in boxing, all these Saudis, they're bringing him out, they're giving him the whole royal treatment, they're pally with him, right? Luckily, I've got a relationship with Amir Khan from a long time ago. So there's that connection there. And I've been told recently as well, Dad, which is another thing that's worrying me a little bit, which you're not going to get a job in Saudi Arabia unless you have someone who's going to push for you a little bit.
No.
He goes, they don't let outsiders come in. They only go through recommendations, he said. So me applying for all these jobs and stuff like that is pointless. New CV, wipe your ass with it, mate. I need someone on the inside to push my CV through the rest of the pile. So I've got like 10 maybe solid contacts in that part of the world now. The rest of them are bullshitters. You know, I've got thousands of contacts, but 999 of them are bullshitters.
Yeah.
It's the few that I've contacted last night before. They said they're going to help me, and they said they're going to take my CV and push it through to the right people. So inshallah, Dad, all I can say is God is good, and if He's got
Alhamdulillah, God is great.
God is great, and if He's got a plan for me that I hope He has, then you'll see me on the other side in the future doing some big things again. And if God is great either way, but if He hasn't got a good plan for me and He wants me to be on the gutters, then you'll see me in the gutters. Right now, I'm in the gutters. But it is what it is, and I hope to God that in the future you see me in Saudi, because they're doing some big things, Dad. And to be honest with you, the dream is to be over there by the 2036 World Cup, where it's going to be, and be part of that, because I was part of the one in Qatar, which was, to this day, the biggest achievement in my career. And running around Doha with my team, covering everything and doing everything and being part of that buzz. Like I said, Dad, people are paying to be there, and I'm being paid to be there. I'm being paid to be there I can't understand. I can't explain in better words how amazing that feels, the buzz. And especially for the Qatar World Cup, that was like a global event on a global scale. Everyone was looking in the same place. And where was I? I was on the doorstep of that place when everyone was looking at it. You know what I mean? It was like when Morocco won, Morocco beat Argentina or whoever it was. That night, we were on the street going back to the hotel. Every car had a Moroccan flag, and screaming and singing and dancing in the street and all this. Dad, the scenes were incredible. And to be on the ground in these places is what I miss.
Yeah.
And nothing comes close to it. And that's what I want back again. So inshallah, Pops.
Inshallah.
Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for letting me get off my chest. I love you, Pops. And
love you too, son.
yeah. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, that's fine. Thank you very much to getting all that out off your chest. And yeah.
Cool. Right, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast again this week, please leave a comment like you did last week. Last week we got a lot of comments. Yeah. Let us know what you want to see more of, what you want us to talk about. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. And if we get the same kind of feedback and positive response this week, we'll do it again next week. So please keep the support coming, guys. Dad, anything else to sign out with?
No, it's fine. Thank you very much for watching.
See you later, guys. Nice one.
Fi man Allah.